Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Muhammad Yusuf, and you're now with me for TVS News at 5. Let us begin with our top story. Sarawak's Ministry of Urban Development and Natural Resources is establishing a collaborative effort with the United Nations Development Programme, or UNDP, to formulate Sarawak's Biodiversity Master Plan. The plan is already at the implementation stage, according to Sarawak Deputy Premier Dato' Amar Awang Tengah Ali Hassan, who also revealed that a state urban development policy is currently being evaluated.
The collaboration with UNDP, Tengah disclosed, will empower the current state urban renewal implementation guidelines so that it will be in tandem with Sarawak Post-COVID-19 Development Strategy, PCDS 2030, as well as the new urban agenda, UN Habitat, at the international level. Additionally, Awang Tengah is also pursuing UNESCO's recognition for the Mulu National Park and Nia National Park to be listed as UNESCO World Heritage Sites. So far, the Sarawak Delta Geopark has been given recognition by UNESCO and listed as a global geopark. Awang Tengah made this statement via his office on Saturday, July 23rd, after he attended a briefing and technical discussion with the director of New York City's Department of City Planning, Climate and Sustainability, Michael Morella. During the briefing, Morella shared their knowledge, experiences, guidelines, and policies in city governance. It encompassed aspects of planning and land use zoning, including for coastal areas, waterfronts, and urban renewal, which have been implemented across New York. Awang Tengah, who is also the second Minister of Natural Resources and Urban Development, said the ministry will be using New York's waterfront plan and the Uniform Land Use Review Procedure, ULURP, for the preparation of guidelines and policies for coastal development and urban renewal in Sarawak to be in line with the international standards of sustainable urban development.
Now, Prime Minister Datuk Seri Ismail Sabri Yaakob is currently coordinating a new mechanism to eradicate poverty in the country. It will be implemented holistically and will involve both public and private agencies, as well as universities and non-governmental organizations, NGOs.
Sementara itu, kaedah menangani miskin tegar dengan kaedah baru secara holistik, melibatkan semua kementerian, agensi, swasta, universiti, badan-badan bukan kerajaan dan pemimpin tempatan sedang dilaksanakan oleh kerajaan. Program pembasmian miskin tegar keluarga Malaysia ataupun BMTKM sedang diselaraskan oleh Unit Perancangan Ekonomi Jabatan Perdana Menteri bertujuan untuk menghapuskan miskin tegar pada tahun 2025, insya-Allah.
The government will also address the rate of poverty in Kelantan via an allocation of 124 million ringgit to 590,000 recipients of the Bantuan Keluarga Malaysia, BKM. To further spur Kelantan's economy, Ismail Sabri aims to establish Tok Bali as the centre for economic activities through special tax incentives and high-impact projects. These initiatives will incur about 2.3 billion ringgit of investment and will generate more than 4,200 job opportunities and 270 entrepreneurial breaks for locals.
Now on to some global affairs. Thai Prime Minister Prayut Chan-o-cha and his cabinet ministers survived votes of no confidence in Parliament on Saturday, with this being Prayut's last major ordeal before a general election within the next 11 months. The 68-year-old former army chief in power since 2014 after he led a coup received 256 votes in favour, securing his premiership until his term ends in March.
ความร่วมนะขอบคุณทุกคนทุกคะแนนเสียงที่นำมาใช้เมื่อเดือนธันวาคมปี2500ระบอกการทำงานของสภาและรัฐสภาและขอบคุณมากๆ
The Prime Minister and his cabinet members went through a grueling 4 days on live television with the opposition accusing them of corruption and economic mismanagement, which are all designed to discredit the ruling 17-party coalition before the next polls. This was the 4th time that the Thai Prime Minister's performance had been put to a vote since he was chosen to remain in power in 2019, when the opposition claimed that the rules were created to keep him in power. Prayuth rejected that notion and currently has given no indication of when an election will be held in the future.
Now, China continues to record a spike in COVID-19 infections, recording 128 new locally transmitted cases and 36 imported ones. Local cases were reported in Gansu, Guangxi, Guangdong, Sichuan, Anhui, Chongqing, Shanghai, Jiangxi, Beijing, Henan, and Yunnan, while the imported cases were reported in 10 provincial-level regions, including Fujian, Guangdong, Tianjin, Shanghai, Sichuan, Chongqing, Beijing, Inner Mongolia, Shandong, and Shanxi. No new deaths and 3 additional suspected cases from overseas were reported on the day. And so far, the Chinese mainland has accumulated 20,318 imported cases, and among them, 19,784 had been discharged from hospitals. This is TVS News at 5. Now, the continued success of the COVID-19 vaccination program in the country will depend on the widespread uptake of the booster doses. However, there is evidence of hesitancy and unwillingness to receive the booster doses, even in fully vaccinated adults. While the currently available COVID-19 vaccines remain effective in protecting people from severe infection, public health experts still face a handful of important questions about the shots and their ability to continue to protect against the virus. As such, this has greatly impacted the program and thus indirectly contributed to a spike in the virus. Let's get more insights from occupational health doctor, Dr. Chew Kian Peng, regarding the matter.
For
The spikes, there will be various reasons contributed to the spikes. Of course, relaxation of SOP, public lacking, uh, as well as increased contagiousness, increased infectivity of the virus would also contribute to the spike. If you look at those countries like, for example, Taiwan, people there are very public health conscious, so they practice social distancing, they practice a lot of hand hygiene, and yet you can see the cases over there is rising. So it's not just relaxation of SOP and also people are slacking, but also the mutation of the virus causing it to be easier to spread will be the among the contributing factor.
Commenting further, Dr. Chu said one of the reasons that significantly affect hesitancy towards the COVID-19 vaccine is the fear of side effects.
Oh, the hesitancy. I think at the moment, people are still more worried about the side effect. Even the side effect is not serious. I mean, most of the time not fatal, but deep down, people still fear in case a side effect occur, and then how it should be handled by the medical professional. Day in, day out, we also see some patient, I mean, our outpatient complain of generally unwell after the vaccination. I've seen my regular patient develop eczema, the whole body after the vaccination. I have also seen a few cases where they have extensive hair loss after the vaccination. But whether this is directly linked to the vaccination or just a coincident event, we are not very sure because there is no authority really look into this matter. I mean, some of them, they do report to the to feedback to the Ministry of Health, but the majority of this unpleasant event, I would call it, are not reported. So therefore, it's not really been analyzed.
As such, he strongly advised the public to abide by the same simple rules of social distancing, practicing hand hygiene, and getting oneself tested if feeling unwell.
See the world closer with TVS as we bring you the latest news updates both locally and internationally, just a click away, by heading on to our website at www.tvstv.my or follow us on our social media platforms. And that's all the time we have for TVS News at 5. I'm Mohammed Yusuf. Thank you for watching and have a good day ahead.